In the hills and mountains, there rises the remains of ancient buildings, stones and columns, crumbling walls, and eroded stadiums. We're in Delphi. The ancient Greeks considered this to be the center of the world. The Oracle of Delphi had renown both in its day and until ours. Apollo's attendants were known for telling the future better than anybody else. But we're not here for the Oracle. Instead, we're looking for one of its eternal pieces of wisdom. For inscribed on a column in the entranceway to Apollo's temple, there is the saying, Know Thyself. It's an enigmatic command, requiring the visitor to understand themselves before they ask the tough questions of someone else. It's a real challenge for who truly knows oneself. The struggle, as the kids say, is real. And it's a struggle that is vital to success as an investor. Investors will find themselves in hard times and difficulties or in boom periods where they need to keep their heads, and having the right understanding of the market and of their reaction to it is vital to success. In this video, I want to introduce you to 3 types of investors. There are 3 styles that are not all-inclusive, nor mutually exclusive, but that will give you 3 different lenses on how to look at the stock market so that you can have a sense of who you might be. Again, you won't have to put yourself into a single box, but understanding these lenses will help you understand how you might approach the market. I'm going to exaggerate their traits a little bit to help you pick up on what matters most or least about each style of investing. Afterwards, I'll tell you where I fit into this and why this all will matter as we continue on our investing journey. Let's meet our first investor. Have you ever searched for a record for months and months, and when you finally find it at a record fair or at a record store, you're so excited until you see the price, and you see that not only is it full price, but limited edition pricing. And you say, maybe not. Are garage sales dangerous because you cannot resist picking up a bargain, even if you don't need it? Or are you the type of person who, when your favorite show or band becomes a huge success, when it blows up, you sort of stop liking them? You say it's because they sold out, but really, you just don't like being in such a big crowd. Well, you may have a little bit of a value investor in you. The value investor likes to focus on the numbers, likes to control their emotions, likes to look at the past to predict the future, and they like to go against the crowd. They're looking for things that are cheap, that are bargains, and if they pick a popular company, it's probably going to be because that popular company is out of favor, out of fashion, and thus on sale. If I could paint the value investor's character, I would say they're a little bit skeptical. They've been schooled in the teachings of Benjamin Graham and Warren Buffett. They are going to read a lot. They're going to search and search and search until they can find an opportunity, and the more obscure, the better. If there's a great quote for the value investor, it would probably be Ecclesiastes. There is nothing new under the sun. The past has taught the growth investor one thing. It pays to look forward to the future. Cutting edge, innovation, change, early adopters, and hope for a better world, or at least a more exciting one. Those are the things that drive the growth investor and the stock market forward. Unlike their friend, the value investor, the growth investor knows that it's worth paying for good things. Rather than digging through the dumpster bins, they're going to find the best companies in the world and hold on to them, because those are the companies that drive the stock market forward. Einstein may never have actually said that compounded interest is the 8th wonder of the world, but the growth investor believes it anyways and knows that compounded growth is even better. So if you're the type of person who has already ordered an Apple Vision Pro VR headset, or who is scouring Reddit message boards for the latest tech news, or who is up on the latest fashions and trends and likes to get in on the ground floor early, you might have a little bit of growth investor in you. The momentum investor believes in a lot less than their two friends. Their trust is not in themselves, but in what other people are doing, the wisdom of the crowds. If thousands of people, millions of people are buying a stock, who is the momentum investor to tell them they're wrong? Instead, they're happy to jump in line and join the party. The momentum investor's conviction comes not from fundamental research or their own knowledge, but instead from simple notions like if a line is going up, it is likely to continue going up. We can think of the old Will Rogers line. Buy stocks, hold them until they go up, and then sell them. And if they don't go up, don't buy them. Except that is what the momentum investor is doing in real time. Think of Newtonian physics, the first law of motion. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. The momentum investor is often called a trend follower, but they know that's not an insult. The trend is your friend, and they are happy to take its guidance to higher profits. I introduced you to these three investors for two reasons. First of all, you're going to have hard times as an investor. In the index, you know that at least I just have the index, fine, that's the way of everybody. But if you're picking stocks yourself, you're still going to have hard times. And those hard times could be because you messed up, or it could be because your style is out of fashion. It's hard to tell which is which. So you need to believe in what you're doing to ride out these hard times. I'm not saying you're locked into a box forever. You can change strategies and you should absolutely evolve as an investor over time. We're just starting, and how we are as an investor will change over the decades. At the same time, when you're going through a river of struggles, if you want to change your horse midstream, you're going to get wet. Riding out your strategy through the difficult periods is important to prevent you from just getting into a buy high, sell low cycle. There's no right way to invest. None of these three investors have a perfect ratio, a magic formula. None of them always win. Markets ebb and flow, trends come and go. If you're spending extra time on your investing, you're not just indexing, you may as well find a style that suits you, that resonates with you. Again, think of it like a wardrobe. You want something that you enjoy wearing, that makes you feel good, and that flatters you. Flatters you, yes, it should make money. If you're not making money, you should just go to indexing again. But each of these styles can work. And if you find something that suits you, or pick and choose from these different styles, you can cobble out the way that you want to invest and a strategy that you can stick to and enjoy as you're spending extra time looking at the market. This style can help you figure out how you're going to look for, evaluate, and buy or sell stocks over the future of your investing career. I've always had a little bit of a contrarian to me, and so value investing has always made more sense to me. I like the numbers to add up, and I don't trust myself thinking too far ahead into the future. At the same time, I started investing in 2011, and basically the entire time I've been investing, growth investing has been in favor. I've learned from the dominant style. I've learned to appreciate the importance of revenue growth. I've learned that sometimes it is worth paying more for a wonderful company. Warren Buffett's line is that it's far better to pay a fair price for a wonderful company than a wonderful price for a fair company. And I appreciate that to a degree. I'm not perfect about it, but I understand it. The other important thing about this, though, is that growth and value are two sides of the same coin. Both styles are trying to find something for less than it's worth. Value is trying to do that by looking at the recent past and the near-term future to understand where the stock might head, whereas Growth investors are looking longer term. They are looking into the future. They expect more value to be generated 5, 10, 15 years from now. They want to get the best companies and hold on to them. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just not exactly how I approach things. I should also say, I made the momentum investor sound a little bit silly, but we should be honest with ourselves. At heart, we all have a little bit of momentum investor in us. Momentum investors are looking at the charts, and as much as we'd like to say that we're doing serious research, the stock chart affects how we think about a company. There's an old Ben Folds 5 song that I never actually listened to, but that I remember a line from, that when money talks, I hate to listen, but lately it's been screaming in my ear. The market is always screaming in our ear. It's always trying to tell us what to think. Momentum investing gives into this and says, all right, you tell me where I'm going. And we should be honest that even with our other styles of investing, we have a little bit of that in our heads. And that's the grapple. That's what we're fighting for or fighting against as we go to our different investing styles. These 3 investing categories are quite general. I've described them simplistically. They're not mutually exclusive. And like I said, I left some categories out. Especially, we'll be talking about dividend investors at some point in its own category. They are 3 lenses for how to buy stocks, though, or how to think about stocks and the stock market and the world around it. The short investing guide will focus on my style, which is value investing, with some growth inflections. But we also need to be honest that the momentum investor is still creeping behind us, telling us to think about stock price, bro, and whether our analysis is really as serious as we think it to be. So we'll keep them in mind as well. Most of all, we'll keep in mind that we need to know ourselves, know thyself, as we approach our investing through the months and decades ahead. In my next videos, I'm going to be talking about ways to find stocks. I'm going to have a series of videos on how you can actually find stocks. So subscribe to this channel to get more of this content. Check out shortinvestingguide.com. Thank you for watching and for meeting my friends, and I hope to see you soon.